Thank you. And this, staying with the economy, to Mr. Pappas, President Trump recently praised his trade agreement with Mexico and Canada as historic and said it would not have been possible without steep tariffs on products from those countries, such as aluminum and steel. Now, Mexico says there will be no deal until Trump's tariffs ends. Will you vote for the new NAFTA if you're in Congress, and why or why not?
Well, I think the announcement of a new deal is a good sign for the state of New Hampshire. We're a state with 160,000 jobs that are tied to international trade, mostly with our neighbor to the north in Canada. We benefit from having a stable system in place and trade deals in place that respect our local businesses, our workers, and our environment. And so I would only support agreements that do that. I think that it is a good sign in terms of the terms of the deal that have been announced. But I think we're always better served by calm, sober talks as opposed to the sort of haphazard system of tariffs that this president has undertaken on goods coming into this country. It's made business more expensive for New Hampshire companies. It's raised prices for consumers. It's allowed the customer base to dry up for certain New Hampshire companies. And so I think we should have trade talks not just with Mexico and with Canada. We should open up trade talks with China as well to make sure that we're protecting our business interests and our economic interests right here.
And for Mr. Edwards, same question. Do you also think the president was on the right track with these tariffs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think this once again goes to leadership. The president stepped into office. He realized that we were suffering and we were getting the raw end of the deal. So what did he do? He stepped up, renegotiated the NAFTA deal, and now that's in America's economic interest. You know, when I traveled to this district, I've spoken to people who were hit by some of these tariff deals. And you know what the voters and the business owners in this district want? They believe in the president because they understand that this is a strategy. It's not a policy, it's a strategy. And what's happened? He's brought the EU around. He's brought NAFTA around. And you're going to see the same thing happen with China. The fact of the matter is this president has engaged in tariff negotiations and talks with other folks. While Chris, every time you ask him a question, he wants to punt to move away from his talking points and punt the ball to someone else to resolve the issue, not Congress. Congress has a responsibility to step up and do its job here. If Congress had been doing its job, then the president wouldn't have to work this hard.
Mr. Pappas, you've been invoked. You can have 30 seconds.
Sure. I think we are well served by a more thoughtful process than what we've seen, because that's what's going to protect New Hampshire businesses and New Hampshire companies and not raise prices for consumers right here. I was with a solar company in New Hampshire that saw the price of their panels go up 40% because of the tariffs. And I think it's important to understand the implications that this has right on the ground here. We've got to protect our interests.